I just learned that there are things living in the clouds. And Native American rain dances may have actually worked. Clouds are like giant rivers in the sky. A big thunderhead may contain millions of tons of water. If life on Earth has taught us anything, it's that where there is water, there's life. So what life forms are in the clouds? How did they get there, and what are they doing?
Everybody thought ice nuclei were coming from meteors or from dust stormed from the Sahara or something, but I discovered that they were made by plants and bacteria.
Now, this is not bullshit.
So I flew up there. I held Petri dishes out a little Cessna window.
He said he could see like the individual ice crystals impacting the plate. And when they brought those back to the lab and incubated them, he cultured species of Pseudomonas syringae from the cloud.
Pseudomonas syringae. It's a common plant pathogen infecting lots of different plants, including some that could be in your own backyard, like peach trees or tomato plants. It creates a biofilm on the plant's surface, made of particles so small they get carried up into the atmosphere by warm air currents, the rising heat from a forest fire, or even the stomping and shuffling of feet like in a Native American rain dance. Pseudomonas syringae isn't the only thing living in the clouds. As many as 80 different bacteria have been found in 1 cubic centimeter of cloud water.
There are also fungi that have this phenotype. There are pollens. There are plants that make pollen that when it gets in the atmosphere is a very good ice nucleating particle. This could be something that many different kinds of life forms are actually involved in.
Pseudomonas syringae have developed special adaptations for living in the clouds. It's resistant to the high levels of UV radiation found in the upper troposphere. After drifting around in the clouds for a while, the bacteria need to come back to the Earth's surface to infect other plants and start their life cycle over again.
Dust and dirt can cause nucleation too in the absence of the biology, but that's at much colder temperatures, so there's less chance of precipitation.
It's incredibly efficient at catalyzing freezing.
All rain on Earth, except in a few locations around the ocean, first forms as an ice crystal or as a snowflake. Even in the hottest desert, if you have rain, it started as an ice crystal. Oh, sorry. There's a phone call that I've been waiting for. I got to just answer for a minute.
While Russell takes that call, let's learn more about how Pseudomonas syringae helps form precipitation.
I wanted to learn more about nucleization, so I came to Mount Holliday.
Nucleization is essentially the process of water droplets accumulating on some sort of particle in the atmosphere.
There's a commercially available product called Snowmax. What that is Pseudomonas syringae that's been grown up in industrial scale fermenters.
With the Snowmax system, it's essentially emulating nature, and the bacteria is actually injected into the water lines for the snowmaking equipment. This is not something that took engineers decades to develop. It was simply just copying nature. That's probably one of the unnerving thoughts to most people is understanding that there's bacteria that actually lives in our atmosphere.
When you were in Kenya, you noticed that the shuffling of the workers on the Kenya tea plants were creating dust that was going up into the atmosphere. Is that correct?
They were walking on probably decayed tea leaves of this thick because the trees would drop their leaves and then they would decay. The tea plantations had the most hail on Earth. That's hard to believe. Yeah. On the tropics, it's right on the equator.
One thing that rain dances have in common from all over the world is that they do shuffle and stomp on the ground. This isn't direct proof that Native American rain dances worked, but it is proof that shuffling and stomping on the ground in some cases can send enough particles into the atmosphere to create precipitation.
The tea plantation connection, having high nuclei in the tea, on the leaves and then the hail, that's why we tested it and that's what it came out to be, so there might be some truth in it.
Do you think there's a lot more life in the clouds that's yet undiscovered?
I think we know 10%. Maybe 9.
So microbes are partly responsible for controlling the weather. There are things living in the clouds, and Native American rain dances may have actually contributed to it raining. I'm Coulter Stewart. Remember to look for the wild where you are.